Hey YouTube family, it's Sarah, Less of Sarah. This feels like the 97th time I've tried to make this video today. I don't know, I'm not very eloquent today. I keep stumbling over my words, so hopefully this video isn't too rambling. But I promised last week I was going to make a video on emotional eating and cravings and just eating issues that I know have come up with a lot of people that I'm close to on YouTube and Facebook. And I kind of wanted to share how those things have or haven't been affecting me at 4 months out, and also some of the other eating issues that have been affecting me. But before I do that, I have a couple of things I wanted to do. So number one, I wanted to give a shout out to the group of girls that I affectionately call my bitches. And they are four lovely ladies who are basically sort of my local support group or accountability group. And in the past couple of weeks, we've just totally gelled and gotten really close, and I'm so grateful for that. I love the support that I get from YouTube and Facebook and all those people who I've never met, but I feel like I know so intimately. But, you know, these girls, I guess, have the advantage of living close by. We're all within about, I guess, half an hour, 45 minutes of each other. So it is a really special thing to have that connection with people that you can talk to, you know, face to face, and I guess who just have the same experiences in a local sense. And so I wanted to say hi to Julie and Jen and Nikki and Sue, and we're going to get up to some shenanigans this weekend. We're having coffee Saturday morning and then going for a walk by the lake. So yeah, there might be a video of that, who knows. And I wanted to especially thank Jen Johnston. I'm one of those people who thinks everybody comes into your life for a reason, that they have something to share with you or teach you. And I seem to think that I can always recognize someone who's going to have an impact on my life. And Jen is one of those people. From the very first moment I met her, we just sort of clicked, and we've just been having a great time getting to know each other. And I really feel this special connection with her. Not that I don't love the rest of you ladies, I do. But I don't know, we've just been getting up to no good. So I want to say hi, Jen. Oh, I have this for you too. Yeah, don't ask. Anyway, love you. See you on Saturday. So the other thing is, I wanted to answer a question that Destination Size 12 had left in a comment on my last video, and she was asking if I ever watch old videos and how I feel or when I see those old videos, you know, from the beginning of my journey. And it's interesting because I'm not sure if my answer is really the same as what I think a lot of people's might be. I was never the kind of person who had any kind of self-loathing or self-hatred because I was morbidly obese. I've always been able to separate my appearance from who I am as a person, probably because I've been very overweight my whole life. I think there's a difference between knowing that you could improve yourself and feeling like you are worthless because of your weight or your appearance. And I've been lucky to never really have felt that way. And even at 460 pounds, I didn't feel that way. So when I look back at those videos, obviously I see the physical difference. I see my face then compared to now, and I do see all those things. But it doesn't affect me in the way that I judge that Sarah, or that I feel any kind of negative feelings. I don't think like, oh, how did I ever let myself get there? Oh my God, I didn't realize I was so big. No, I realized I was that big, and I know how I got there. And so I think most of all, I feel compassion for that girl 6 months ago. I feel like I wish I could go back and tell her, 6 months from now, you are going to be doing your thing. It's going to be working. You're going to get there. You need to stay positive. You need to focus on now. I wish I could give her a pep talk then. I wish I could make that Sarah understand that hope that she felt there was a reason for it and that it would come to fruition. So yeah, I have compassion for that girl in those videos 6 months ago, but I don't look back on those videos very often because honestly I like to try and keep moving forward and focusing on the future. I sort of try to let go of those things that are in the past. And so, but sometimes when I have a difficult day, I do go back and take a look and remind myself who I wanted to be at this point and try and make sure I'm fulfilling that promise that I made to myself. So that's the answer to that. On to eating. So I've noticed there are quite a few people who I follow on YouTube who are similarly, 3 to 4 months out from their journey, who have been making videos and talking about having issues with emotional eating, having issues with snacking or grazing, having issues with cravings, just having issues with eating off plan. And I've had a few people ask me, I think lots of people know I follow a very strict diet, a very low calorie diet, a low carb diet. I don't know whether that has anything to do with it. I know that for me, the more carbs I eat, the more I crave. So I can tell you with certainty that the reason I don't have a ton of carb cravings is because I don't really eat that many carbs anymore. So, sorry guys, still have a cold. Yep. That's definitely the reason that my cravings aren't that bad, for sure. Or one of them anyway. I was never an emotional eater, and I remember seeing that in a video pre-surgery and thinking, well, surgery is definitely going to help me figure it out if I'm just in denial or if I really was not an emotional eater. I really wasn't, and that's why I believe I haven't had a problem with it. I know it would have already come up because I've definitely had some very difficult personal things going on. I've had a lot of stress at various times since surgery. It has not made me want to eat or to binge or to eat off plan. So I can say that is just something that I don't struggle with. I haven't struggled with before, so I can't unfortunately give any advice on that. But I know there's lots of great books out there, and those of you who are struggling with it, you absolutely have my support and my compassion because I know how difficult that can be. As far as just eating off plan, so snacking, grazing, eating things you shouldn't be eating, I don't really do that. I do basically eat 3 meals a day, usually 1 snack, sometimes 2. And I also have a protein shake, usually separately from those things. So I do eat frequently throughout the day, but I'm not generally that tempted to just grab something. My hunger varies from day to day, so I definitely have some hunger back. But there are definitely days when I don't really feel hungry at all. And then there are days when I feel like I would eat constantly if I could. This is such a complex journey. And there's so many things at work in how we make decisions about what we eat and when we eat it. And I know for me, I think part of my success, if you want to call it that, is having made a commitment at the beginning of this process and being a person who is very driven, who is a perfectionist, who demands success. I know that it would break me if I failed at this journey. I just know myself. And so failure, literally, as cliche as it sounds, is not an option for me. And so I just changed my mindset that I needed to do this. I needed to make these changes. Whatever it took, I had to do it and I had to stick to it. I had to find a way to make it work for myself because I could not face the idea of failing. And that mindset is, I think, what's helped me to stay on track thus far. I do have some cravings, if you want to call them that, from time to time. It used to be that I would see a plate of cookies and think, oh yeah, those look good, but I have no desire to eat them. That's changed. Not for everything, but I definitely do see, junk food or see whatever and think, oh, that looks really good. I'd love to eat that. I can usually just play it off. But I do sometimes get fixations on certain things. So, I have a husband and 2 kids. There's stuff in my house. It's just the way it is. And so if my husband buys a bag of chips and I pass by it 10 times, and I'm staring at it longingly, I'll just eat a chip. Like, I'll just eat one because it's too stressful for me to keep like fixating on eating it. I'll just eat it and move on with my life. I don't feel guilty about those things. I don't think of them as cheating. I think of cheating as something that you do when you lose control. And these are things that are all completely within my control. I make a conscious decision to eat one chip, and that's where it stops. I check MyFitnessPal and I check to see what my calories are at, what my carbs are at. Can I eat this one chip and stay within plan? And, you know, you may feel like it's not justified in any circumstance. I feel like that is the way that I justify it to myself. Do I need to eat a chip? No. Does my body need one? No, clearly I don't. But my mind needs one. And if eating that one chip is going to save me who knows how long, you know, dreaming about eating chips or thinking about it or fighting with myself, it's just not worth it. It's one chip. And for me, and I know I've talked about this before, I can eat one chip. I can have one bite of something. I can eat a small amount of something and be satisfied with that. I know that doesn't work for everyone. And I think that it doesn't work for me I think that it works for me because my issue, the reason I got to where I am is because I just loved eating. I loved the taste of food. I don't think I really had any kind of disorder when it came to eating in the true sense of an emotional eater or a binge eater. I really wasn't like that. And so for me, because it was the taste of food that I was really after and the wanting to assuage that hunger that I always felt, I can have a bite and I've tasted it and I'm good and, you know, I can move on. When you're trying to fill a void, that one bite isn't going to do it. So I think that particular thing works for me because of my eating issues. I don't know that it would work for everyone. So, but I wanted to kind of be upfront about how I deal with that situation when I have those cravings to eat something that isn't on my plan as far as food goes, which is a lot of things at this point. So yeah, I do. I won't call it cheating, but I treat myself and frequently, probably like 4 or 5 times a week. It might be a chip. It might be 3 kernels of popcorn. It might be a Skittle. That's what I had today, a Skittle, because I was totally obsessing over them. And so I just ate one and then I was happy and I moved on with my day. But yeah, I guess that's my dirty little secret. I do it, but I know that it's not affecting my overall weight loss and I'm doing it in a way where I'm completely in control. So I feel okay about that. My eating issues right now are more related to not enjoying food, not wanting to eat, eating being a chore. I still have very, very good restriction, which is great, but it is starting to be frustrating for me. Lately, I can maybe eat 1.5 ounces of dense protein, maybe 2.5 at the most, and I'm just stuffed normally. And it just seems like so much work to me to make that small amount of food. I can't be bothered cooking fancy recipes or anything because I know I'm only eating so little and a lot of things aren't things that my kids or my husband want to eat. I'm just eating because I know that I have to. I'm not really getting a whole lot of pleasure out of it. Things don't even taste as good. I think it's more mental than anything. It's not an issue of my taste buds changing. That hasn't really happened for me. It's just literally everything tastes off. So, things that I used to love, I can just tolerate, and things I used to tolerate, I'm just hating. So I don't know. I haven't heard anybody else talk about that. So if that's something that you've been dealing with or that you've dealt with, I would love to hear about it because I sort of feel like I'm alone on that one right now. I haven't really heard anybody else, at least at the stage that I'm at, talking about that. I know it's a phase. I know it will pass. So I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, for me, my issue really isn't so much wanting to eat more or trying to eat off plan. It's just not wanting to eat anything. So yeah, I just wanted to be kind of real and upfront about what my issues have been and just to let everyone know who is dealing with and struggling with emotional eating and trying to stay on plan and stick to it. I'm here. I support you. I'm behind you. I know that you guys can do it. We all have the capacity to be incredibly successful in this journey. And I wish all of that for you guys. So now that we're at 15 minutes, I'm going to sign off. I'll see you guys on Friday with my update. And remember to appreciate every step in your journey, even the ones that go backwards. Have a great day.